In this video, I'll show you how to easily install the Hume Easy Water 75 reverse osmosis drinking water system to make drinking water at your home, cottage, or cabin clean, clear, safe, and bacteria-free for your family. By the end of this video, you'll know what you need to do and how to install the Hume Easy Water 75 reverse osmosis drinking water system. I encourage you to watch this video right to the end and make sure you don't miss any steps. Not sure how an RO system works? We have a great YouTube video here that explains the whole process. When planning your installation, keep in mind that the system can be installed under the sink, in the basement, or an adjacent area, as long as it's installed within 20 feet of the faucet to get maximum flow. Also, by using the optional T fitting, you can connect it to the fridge for cold water dispensing in super clear ice cubes. The supply adapter fits 1/2 inch or 3/8 inch compression. It's used to connect the system to the cold water supply line. First, turn off the cold water supply line. Turn on the cold water faucet and allow the water to drain from the line. Disconnect the riser from the cold water supply valve. Install the feed adapter valve and connect the 3/8 inch white feed line tubing. The drinking water faucet should be positioned with function, convenience, and appearance in mind. An adequate flat area is required to allow the faucet base to rest securely. The faucet fits through a 3/4 inch hole. You might be able to repurpose the hole from a dishwashing detergent dispenser or something like that. Most sinks have a pre-drilled 1 3/8 or 1 1/2 inch diameter holes that may be used for faucet installation. If not, it'll be necessary to drill a 3/4 inch hole in the sink to accommodate the faucet. Caution, do not attempt to drill through an all porcelain sink. If you have an all porcelain sink, mount the faucet in pre-drilled sprayer holes or drill through a countertop next to the sink. When drilling through a countertop, make sure the area below the drilled area is free from wiring and piping. Do not attempt to drill through a tiled, marbled, granite, or similar countertop unless you know exactly what you're doing. Consult a plumber or the countertop manufacturer for advice or assistance. These instructions apply to stainless steel sinks only. Line the bottom of the sink with newspaper to prevent shavings, parts, or tools from falling down the drain. Place masking tape over the area to be drilled to help prevent scratches if the drill bit slips. Mark the point with a center punch. Use a 1/4 inch drill bit to drill a pilot hole through the sink. Use a 1 1/4 inch hole saw to enlarge the hole, then smooth the rough edges with a file. The 1/4 inch red drain tubing includes a flow controller installed in one end of the tubing. The end of the tubing with the flow restrictor must be securely installed into the RO system manifold before attaching to the faucet. Do not cut off the flow restrictor. Not all parts provided with the faucet may be needed for installation. With your system is going to come a bag of parts. You're going to want to slide the chrome plate and black rubber washer onto the faucet by threading both drain tubes through the holes on the plate and washer. Attach the large diameter red 3/8 inch drain tube to a barb fitting at the faucet base. This tube should be long enough to reach the drain clamp in step 4. Locate the small diameter red 1/4 inch drain tube connected to the drain port of the GRO element. Route the tubing to the faucet and cut off the excessive length of tubing. Slide the white extension spacer onto the long threaded section of the faucet. The open end of the extension should come into contact with the base of the faucet. Screw the washer, lock washer, and locking nut onto the end of the faucet threads. Screw the quick connector onto the end of the faucet threads. Wet the end of the 3/8 inch blue tube, push it into the bottom of the quick connector, and tug gently to be sure the connection is complete. Note, to remove the tube, push on the fittings collar and pull the tube out. Holding the faucet, feed the 3 tubes through the hole in the sink. Position the faucet handle at a desired location. Center the faucet and slip-slot a disc between the white extension spacer and the bottom of the counter or sink. Tighten the locking nut with a wrench until it's tight. Attach the drain clamp to the vertical section of the drain pipe about 6 inches above the trap. Make sure the opening on the drain clamp is facing towards the drinking water faucet. Using the fitting hole of the drain clamp as a guide, drill a 1/4 inch hole through one side of the drain pipe. Remove the drain clamp from the drain pipe and enlarge the hole with a 3/8 inch drill bit. Use a file to remove the rough edges from the drilled hole. Make sure the black rubber gasket is adhered to the inside of the drain clamp and place the drain clamp assembly over the drilled hole. Look through the hole position in the clamp so that the center of the clamp hole is slightly higher, maybe 1/16 of an inch, than the center of the drilled hole. Tighten the clamp securely. Screw the plastic compression nut on the drain clamp until hand tight. Caution, this is a gravity drain line. Any loops, kinks, or sharp bends must be eliminated before proceeding. Align the larger reject 3/8 inch red tubing from the faucet with the compression nut on the drain clamp. Create as straight and smooth a path as possible with the tubing. Insert the inner tube insert, a white cone, into the end of the 3/8 red tubing. Remove the compression nut from the drain clamp. Place the compression nut on the end of the 3/8 red tubing. Insert the tubing into the drain port until it stops. Tighten the compression nut with your fingers, then tighten 1 to 2 turns with a wrench to secure the tubing to the drain port. When selecting a mounting location for the system and tank, take into consideration the length of tubing required for the connections between the two components. Some installation sites may require more tubing than provided in the kit. Select a location under the sink or in a suitable area where the system will be installed. Mount the system vertically, making sure that it's level. Remove the filter cartridges for easier access to the bracket mounting holes. Use the 3/32 inch drill bit to create pilot holes for the mounting. Be sure to mount the system to a firm, solid surface that's able to support the weight of the system when it's full of water. Determine the length of the plastic blue tubing needed to connect to the outlet on the right side of the filter from the faucet. Be sure to allow enough tubing to prevent kinking and cut the tubing squarely. Wet the end of the 3/8 inch tube and push it into the outlet connection of the system up to the mark. Be careful not to bend or crimp the tube while inserting. Gently pull back on the tube to ensure that it's connected properly. When the tank is full, it weighs approximately 20 pounds. Be sure to provide ample support under the tank. To prevent leaks, apply 3 or more wraps of plumber tape to the threads in the tank. I've already done it on this one, and this is where I'll attach the valve. Thread the tank valve onto the top of the tank opening. Turn the tank so the handle is in line with the tubing. Make sure to hand tighten this, but not so much that it might break. Locate the 3/8 inch blue tubing. Place a mark on the tubing 5/8 of an inch from one end. Moisten the marked end of the tubing with water and insert with a twisting motion into the port of the tank valve until the 5/8 inch mark is flush with the quick connect fitting. Then locate the tank near the system's installation area. Cut the tubing to the correct length. Then install the free end of the tubing into the white quick connect fitting on the system. Ensure the tubing does not kink. Retain the remaining blue tubing for use in the connecting system to the water supply adapter. Place the entire system over the mounting screws on the wall and slide down. Be sure not to bend or pinch the tubing behind the system while attaching to the mounting screws. Using the 3/8 inch plastic blue tubing, mark a line on the tubing 5/8 of an inch from the end. Moisten the end of the tubing with water and insert with a twisting motion. Push it into the white quick connecting fitting right here on the back of the system. Depending on the installation, the system's likely going to need to be removed from the mounting surface to access the back. Cut the tube to a length that'll allow the connection to the water supply adapter without kinking. Place a mark on the tubing 5/8 of an inch from the end and insert with a twisting motion into the quick connect fitting on the water supply adapter. For controlled water flow, push the handle down. For constant water flow, lift the faucet handle to lock it in the up and open position. The reverse osmosis membrane is treated with a food-grade sanitizing agent that may cause an undesirable taste. Although it's not harmful, it should be flushed from the system. Although the post-polishing filter may contain fine black carbon particles, these fines are harmless, but may make the water appear gray in color. The carbon fines are flushed from the system with the first full tank of water. Keep in mind that the RO system does not produce a high volume of water on demand as an ordinary filter does. Water is produced at a slow drop-by-drop rate. The system requires about 2 to 4 hours to fill the storage tank. Visually check the entire system for leaks during that time. Turn off the valve at the top of the storage tank, turn on the cold water supply slightly, and ensure the supply adapter or valve is open. Lift the faucet handle to lock it in the open position and let it drip for 30 minutes. Completely open the cold water supply until it comes to a stop. Allow the water to drip from the faucet for 12 more hours. Then close the faucet and open the valve on the storage tank. The tank valve is open when the handle lines up with the tubing connection. Allow 3 hours for the tank to fill. Continue to periodically check the installation for leaks. After the storage tank is filled, open the faucet to flush the post-filter cartridge. Allow 4 to 5 minutes for all the water to drain from the tank. Close the faucet and allow the tank to fill. Fill and flush the tank 3 times. You can now enjoy quality water from your reverse osmosis system. If you're looking for more information on this Hume Easy Water 75, you can go to our websites, either the waterestore.com in US or the waterestore.ca in Canada. We offer free shipping and discount pricing. I'll put links to both in the description below. Click here for your next video on reverse osmosis drinking water systems, and we'll see you there.